Up next, some kitchen cabinet Q&A. I'm Vince with Elements Design Co. and welcome to this episode on our YouTube channel. Today I just wanted to get into some kitchen cabinet Q&A. You know, a big part of our job is enlightening people on cabinetry and design and helping them pick out the best options. So we get a lot of questions about this, and we've actually compiled some questions that people have sent in to us about kitchen cabinets. So we want to do a little Q&A video here. So I have the questions here. Let's get into it. First question is from Jan. She's in northern Florida, and her question was, what is the most popular color of kitchen cabinets? Well, Jan, the answer may be a surprise or not, but it's white. I'd say probably 95% of the cabinets that we do are white, maybe 90%. A lot of times the main cabinetry ends up going white, and then people are doing an accent color with the island. More people lately that are more open to a two-tone, where we're doing the base cabinets in maybe a darker color, and then all the wall cabinets and maybe the pantry cabinet in white. Done several of those in the past year. But overall, white is the most popular color. I'd say especially if you're doing this for resale, white. It's the most neutral. There's a reason why it's the most popular color. It's very neutral. A lot can go with it. You can style a lot of stuff around it. You're not pigeonholed into one color palette, so if you change your style down the road. So you can never go wrong with white. That said, the natural wood tones are coming back. So we're finding a lot more we're doing with rift cut white oak. We'll do another video on that and what rift cut white oak is, but you get more of that linear grain pattern of the oak. So instead of seeing that big swoopy oak pattern, it's cut from the side, so you get more of the side view of that grain. Has a very nice linear pattern. That and walnut is awesome. So we're doing a lot of those in more natural finishes, but still seeing those more of an accent. Not necessarily the whole kitchen being done in that, still mixing that with a lot of white. So right now, white is the most popular kitchen color. Next, is refacing worth the money? This comes from Jared in South Tampa. So Jared, refacing, I would say 95% of the time, refacing the cabinets is not worth the money. And here's why, and here's something you need to think about. A lot of times people will come in and think we'll just put on new countertops and then we'll just paint the doors, or we'll put on new doors on these existing cabinets. Now the problem with that is you're going to put on new countertops and you want those to last, presumably, a long time. Maybe it's the next 10 years, 15 years. The problem is you've got cabinets in there that are already 10, 20 years old. Are they going to last another 10 or 20 years is the question you need to ask yourself, because once you put that countertop on, it's not easy to just pop that off if the cabinets fail down the road. So you have to ask yourself, are these cabinets going to last that much longer? So you may spend $5,000 to $10,000 refacing cabinets, and you're stuck with the same drawer box. You've got to see, is there any water damage? Some of these cabinets may be a particle board cabinet box, so you might see signs of wear and tear. It might not have the soft close drawers and all of those newer features that almost all cabinets come with standard nowadays. So you're putting new doors onto an old box. It really depends on the purpose. If it's just a resell, make a quick flip, then by all means, lipstick on a pig, as they say. But if this is something where you're going to be in there long term, it's very rare that I see cabinets that are in good shape to do that. Every now and then we'll see cabinets that are maybe nice custom cabinets, and they're just a dated color, and then they do hold up to just being painted white or another color or something like that. The other thing you have to think about too is the layout. Is the layout of the kitchen the way you want it and exactly how you would want to do it? So just be aware that when you put the new countertops on, you just need to know that those cabinets are gonna go the distance, and you're really committing to those at that point. There's no guarantee that you can pop the countertop off down the road and use those same countertops. So if you're committing to the countertops, at that point you're really committing to new cabinets, or to those cabinets. So that's just something that you have to think about. Like I said, probably 5% of the time I've seen situations where the cabinets are great quality, the layout's right, and it's really just the color that's wrong or the door style. So that's why we don't ever mess with refacing, because it can be a pain in the rear end. But there are good finishers out there who can refinish cabinets, and it certainly is still cheaper, though it is an investment. You just have to weigh those pros and cons of what you're putting in and how long you think those are going to last down the road. That's my long-winded answer about refacing cabinetry. Next, benefits of ready-to-assemble cabinets, and this comes from Sherry, and she's from North Carolina. So those of you who don't know, ready-to-assemble cabinets are usually these kind of cabinets that you see promoted as pick up the same day. That means they're flat in a box. They're usually imported from overseas. It comes flat, and then they're ready to assemble. So you're set with set sizes, and the benefit is that they're cheap because they're mass produced. Where these are nice is, again, maybe it's a flip, maybe you're some, young couple, got your first home, just want to put a little bit into it. It's not your forever home, and it's something that's going to be good to last you the next few years as you step up to your next house. So the benefits are price and speed, convenience. You can go down and get cabinets tomorrow. So those are the benefits. There are some drawbacks. You're limited to sizing. Quality issues are not the same as something that's made in America or a semi-custom line that usually has a lifetime warranty. Usually ready-to-assemble cabinets have between a 1 and 5 year warranty. That said, there are situations where those are good, where it's fixing up a place to resell, and a lot of times the ready-to-assemble cabinets might be much nicer than what you had in there. So, you really just have to look at budget and overall how long you're going to be in the home. If this is more of a forever home, or you're going to be there for a good 10 to 15 years, I would really suggest you look at some of the next levels up. You just have more flexibility. Another drawback, I know we're talking about benefits, but a drawback while we're talking about the benefits is just the size restrictions on these ready-to-assemble cabinets. You might only have an 18 and a 24-inch wide pantry cabinet as an example. The problem with that is if you need a 21, then you have to do maybe an 18 and just use bigger fillers. You can't get quite as exact with the sizing as you can with other ready or custom-made cabinets or semi-custom cabinets where you have some flexibility on the sizing. Next question. This is from Jackson, and he is from Missouri. His question is, what are some tips to choose kitchen cabinets? All right, well, some of that goes along with what I just said. First, you need to look at budget. You need to look at your overall goal for the kitchen. So is this a flip or a rental, or is this your home that you're going to be in for a little while? Next thing is the style and the finish options. What are you going for? Are you going more contemporary, more traditional? What are the options that particular cabinet line has, and does it fit your needs? So there's a lot, and there's a wide range when it comes to kitchen cabinets. I could do a whole video just on that, from cheap builder grade, full custom from Italy with gold leaf and all the bells and whistles. So there's a huge range there. Ultimately, you need to start looking at budget and quality and try to get those two things to come together as close as you can and get the most value for what you're trying to invest into your property. Ultimately, usually people are looking for the options of sizes and customization, and then the budget and the styles and all their finishes. Does it have the right colors that you're looking for? If it has the right color and door style and it's in your budget, then that's a good place to start. From there, you can start comparing apples to apples. Next question, and our final question. This one is just a little bit of a fun one, not particular to cabinets, but this question comes from Daniel from South Carolina, and this one made me chuckle. It says, what is the coolest thing you found hidden in the walls during a renovation? Now that's very fun. I think the coolest thing, we were doing a renovation in a house in Maryland one time. It was a house from the 1900s, and behind the plaster they had used newspaper as a backer in between the wire mesh. And we found newspaper articles from, I think it was 1920, and you could actually still read the articles and see the headlines on the newspaper. That was probably the coolest thing. You have found like some cool pieces of history, like an old pack of Lucky Strikes or an old Miller Lite can in there from the 40s. That's always cool. But you never know what you're going to find when you open up those walls. We had a client a couple years ago who did a little time capsule of her renovation, and she took photos of the whole renovation we did with the plans and photos of us working and everything, and she put a little note to the next person, and she put them in this little pocket in between two rows of cabinets in the island before we put the countertop on, and kind of said, hey, here's how we did it, and hope you enjoy it for your renovation. And that was just a cool little thing that she was leaving for the next person to find 20 years down the road or whenever that kitchen gets ripped out. So that was a little fun thing. So there's all my questions for today. That's just a few topics, a few questions on kitchen cabinets for you. It's a huge topic. We'll do a part 2 question. I'm sure we can keep talking about cabinets for days, but those are just a few of some popular questions that we get asked often, and some questions that we found that people had out there. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned.